Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're in New Orleans, Louisiana, one block off of Canal Street, standing on the neutral ground, and right behind me is the Charles Didier Dreux historical marker. Charles Didier Dreux was a lieutenant colonel in the Confederate Army and was the first Confederate field officer from Louisiana killed during the American Civil War. Before he was killed, his last words were, "Boys, steady." Charles Didier Dreux was born on May 11th, 1832 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Before the war, he held positions as district attorney and state legislator, establishing firm roots in civic leadership. In the spring of 1861, as the American Civil War ignited, a wave of young men from the streets of New Orleans to the parishes along the Mississippi River gathered to take up arms. Among the first to answer the call was the 1st Louisiana Infantry Battalion, also known as Dreux's Battalion. Formed in mid-April 1861, this battalion was among the earliest Confederate units raised in Louisiana, weeks before many states had even organized their militias. 5 companies, each made up of volunteers from New Orleans and surrounding parishes, would eventually form its core. The company names were the Louisiana Guards, the Crescent Rifles, the Shreveport Greys, the Grivat Guards, and the Orleans Cadets. These men came from all walks of life, and commanding them was Lieutenant Colonel Charles Didier Dreux. Known for his charisma and patriotism, Dreux quickly became the face of Louisiana's commitment to the Confederate cause. By late May 1861, Dreux's battalion had reached Richmond, Virginia, where it was officially mustered in Confederate service on June 11th. They were among the first Louisiana troops to serve on the front lines of the Eastern Theater. Their assignment, defend the Confederate lines near Newport News along the James River. At this stage in the war, there were no massive battles, just skirmishes, patrols, and raids. On July 5th, 1861, Dreux led a 100-man raiding party on what would become a tragic mission. Their target, Union pickets near a farm outside of Newport News. The engagement, now known as the skirmish at Smith's Farm, was brief, chaotic, and deadly. In the fighting, Charles Dreux was shot and killed, becoming the first Confederate field officer to die in the war. After Dreux's death, the battalion continued to serve in the region, engaging in further skirmishes and defensive duties. By late August 1861, the unit's short life was nearing its end. The battalion was disbanded and reorganized into the Louisiana Guard Battalion under new leadership. Some men went home, others joined new regiments. Many would go on to fight in larger, bloodier battles at Shiloh, Antietam, and Gettysburg. Dreux's body was transported back to New Orleans, where a civic and military funeral drew between 30 and 40,000 mourners, one of the largest public gatherings in the city at this time. His final resting place is in Metairie Cemetery in New Orleans, Louisiana. In 1922, a monument was erected honoring Dreux at the intersection of Canal Street and Norman C. Francis. The monument has since been removed.